I haven't looked at the other one that I did. All right. So we like to start with little corner dots. And however far away from the edge of your paper or tile, I'm using a 3.5-inch square tile, and I think this is the same Tanya that's on today. Tanya, we were talking, we were playing with your Tangle on the Tangle Addicts community, right? And so we were talking about not having a border. It's just it wants to finish, otherwise it'll go on forever. So if you're using a sketchbook, one of the things you can do is you can either make a little box or make a border, do a border tangle. Actually, this tangle you could use as a border too, if you wanted to. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my border from those 4 dots and connect them. And I'm doing my traditional. I like to do mine curvy.
And I do mine straight.
Right. Hey, we're like the Osmonds. I'm apparently the little bit of rock and roll, maybe. I don't know how that would fit. But all of a sudden that song came into my head. And then from here, this gives us a space to work within. And then we add a string and say, so if I was normally tangling and I just did a string, which is just separating up the space into however many sections you want, then we work to fill all of those in. And so that's what's nice, is it contains it all in here. But for today, since we're just doing we're essentially just doing 2 tiles or two tangles, excuse me, I'm just going to divide mine in 2. I think I'm going to continue with my planter series. And actually, I think I'm going to make it here. So I'm going to do mine on the diagonal. And you can, if you want to do yours, crosswise, however you want to do it is fine. Or if you don't want to have have a dividing string line, you don't have to do that either. You can just add the tangles and then change it as you wish. That's the neat thing about this, is that we are not stuck in just one set of rules and that's it, and that's how it works. Yeah, I wanted to use a PN, and they have, if you can, I don't even know if you can differentiate these. Oh no, you can't. I can't either, even seeing it in person, because they have they have a blue black, a black, and like a black brown, and it's so hard to tell the difference, and I just want to have just the black one. So I'm going to use the PN because I do like them. So here's how this one works again. So I'm going to start it down here in the bottom, and I'm just going to have it kind of grow out. As I mentioned, if you wanted to create a border out of it, you could just have it kind of growing, in somewhat of a straight line, which is kind of neat because it makes it versatile. And actually, and I think I put having it go to the left, then the right, then the left. You could do whichever way works better. It's just, we start kind of doing an orb one direction, then come back the other direction, come back the third direction, and that's it. And mine is apparently more circular. I'm like, wow, that looks really nice. I couldn't do that again if I tried. And then, starting here, just like I said, growing off of it. Like that. Also with the strings, it's the string and the border, and I neglected to say, that is with your pencil. Yeah, if you ended up doing it with your pen. Okay.
Oh. Heather, you always pick ones that I either don't like to do or don't do very much. You just have a knack of that. So the first thing you draw, wait, how did I left? No, where I'm back.
Yeah,
it's an oval. It's not a circle, right? It's more like a teardrop shape.
Yeah, exactly. And this was, we still keep it like saying an orb, because it's like, if I try to draw, that's why we use that word, right? So that way, because I'm like, oh, look at how nice that one is. I mean, this one is more circular. Usually, yeah, they're supposed to be more like an oval, or a teardrop. But, with that, because this is kind of organic, and I'm thinking this is one where you might, because I have this little cavern here that I've developed. And I'm thinking too, I don't know that we would want to, but I don't think that there's any reason you couldn't do it hollow bow. So like I was thinking, well, if I put it in here, then I could, and I don't think there's any reason why one couldn't, like this, work behind, for those that have no idea what I was just saying. So if you're new to tangling, the hollow bow technique is drawing behind, and so you basically, we don't want to draw over something. For the most part, we don't do that. But so like right here, I'm coming around and I don't want to draw over that, so I just pick up my pen, continue it around, and then finish it off where I'm in the clear and put my pen down. Yeah, so there's no reason why you couldn't do that if you want to. But this one, yeah, this is kind of neat because it's like swish, 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 and have it grow however you want to. And then too, you could start it in a different direction. Also, it doesn't all have to grow out of the one thing. Well, I'm just going to try that here. So I end up with these little caverns, and if I started one, well, then it's still okay. I end up with just some lines, so that just kind of looks weird. And then I might go back and just do a little fill in the back of these. But so what's neat is you can, depending on what direction you have you start with, you can kind of angle it into different directions. And see, like this, you could kind of angle it and go right along, which is what I'm doing right here. Go right along that string line. So if you wanted to use it as a border tangle, I was calling them line tangles, but then it's a line or a border tangle. It just depends on how you want to use them. So you certainly could do that, or have it, kind of like if you follow this one where it just kind of it's like double wide sort of, and it, at least at the beginning here, just kind of alternated.
Do they always have to come out of a point?
I don't think so, because I had some. No, because I think I started one somewhere else. I think you could probably start one wherever. But I just seem to like to tuck them into a point.
Yeah, I have one that isn't. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, that's okay. I figured it out.
I was looking at it. It seems like yeah, and what I'm seeing, she only had one. I think this is her example on Tangle patterns. Because I like to go there for the well, actually that's where I found it in the first place. But I do like to go back and actually I'll share my screen again really quick. And if somebody's hopefully not having problems, because I'm hearing I should turn those chimes off. Oh, so we've got some others joining us. Welcome to everyone that I didn't say welcome to already. And saying we're doing Antidots. And I don't think they explained. Oh, I was going to share my screen.
Heather, I think this might be your all-time high.
Maybe.
There's 39 people.
Wow. And I think I'm recorded twice, so
that's well, even with not counting you.
Yeah. So this is the page from Tangle Patterns. And if you I should make sure to put links, because it's such a nice resource that she makes available. And then also too, if you you can subscribe, of course that's free, and nearly every day you get a tangle. And then also if you want to help support her, well, actually I think if you order in the books, like right down here, so you can well, I think I must have gotten mine in December, so I'm like, well, I guess I'll just wait. I don't know, maybe I'll get it now. But she puts together basically it's thumbnails of all the tangles that she has on the site, so it's a really, really nice resource to have. And I think it's like $15 or something like that. But if you go to her ebooks, it has a link here. But anyway, so I wanted to show you too. This is a kind of a cute way to decorate them. So you could color in if you wanted to, or like this, she's got colored the first go around, and then blank, and then some little dots, and then some little spriggy things coming out. But that is just fun. But yeah, so the way I'm seeing it, looks like they are for the most part coming out of a corner, and that is fun. And that's mom's. That's mom's. Somebody's texting her.
Yeah.
That's her alert.
Yeah.
And this too, I also noticed. It seems like as you're going back around, it kind of hugs, and we like trace over, the beginning parts of that line. It's hard to see when you're, well, actually that's how it fits into these corners, because you're tracing over right at the base there, so it kind of well, actually that's I'm sure what also helps to make it look like um, oyster shells.
I think of barnacles.
Oh, maybe that's it.
But I've done some now that don't come out of the point, but you can kind of slope it. Now I got to find one where I did it. Like this one right here, where it just kind of comes off the side.
Yeah.
Still looks okay.
Hi, Sherry, do you mind turning your volume down just a tad? It's coming through much louder than Heather. Please, thank you.
I'm not sure this will work, but
okay,
is that better?
It's really high and sharp, but thank you.
Can you hear me, Heather?
Yeah, I can. Did that turn it down a little bit?
Not much.
Oh, okay. And that could be that might just be equipment. Whatever the whatever microphone you're using. And I'm just using my phone, which sometimes is why it sounds soft. Or maybe it's
mine's really low. Maybe I'll just talk softer.
Whisper.
Can you hear me, Heather?
Yeah.
Do I sound loud to you?
No,
Okay. Because when I turned my volume down, I could not hear you.
Oh. Yeah,
so it must be right at the point, but I will.
Okay.
I will,
so we'll have to we'll have to maybe play because it's we'll have to see next time I come over, or maybe have Dad check, because that's like they call it gain on the mic, and that there we go, and that would be different than somehow mine got muted.
Heather, I can barely see you. Your paper is so low down off. It's like literally. Okay, that's great. That's great.
See, I have these marks and it's not marked. You mark again because it's like every time I reshift things. That's my secret. Should be to keeping it square on there. Thanks, Inez. Well, sometimes you just get into this and then you're like, oh, and then I start pulling it closer to me and closer to me. Yeah, so this one is kind of fun, and and I'm thinking too. Well, I'm just gonna try it here. So I'm gonna. I can finish that later, but I just want to try it. So some of these places where I have little gaps, I'm just gonna go ahead and color those in myself here, just because I want to see what that looks like. And it just, it's one of those that just depends on how you ended up drawing yours. Oh, that kind of helps, because for the most part, they're kind of packed in. And then as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, well, now if I have decided I'm going to color any of these, in, then that kind of that could interfere possibly. But yeah, see, in the original Tangle, they weren't decorated, but just like everything, we can do whatever strikes you. Little well. To do. It's it's just kind of neat. And also, if I forgot to mention, the string line, anything that's in pencil is only a suggestion. So it's like I've decided I want to go above that just in a couple places here. Just cuz. But this is really a fun tangle in that, a lot of times when people see tangles and they say, "Oh, you're doodling." It's like, and some people are more get more offended at that than others, and it's kind of funny, but it's like, no, it's some things do resemble, but the idea of doodling is where it's just mindless. You're not really thinking, and you're not necessarily planning, where you're marking. This is how did I phrase it? This is, we could call it structured doodling, but people that they don't understand, it's hard to you don't want to jump down somebody's throat. It's like, no, it's not doodling. It's Zentangle. Well, but this one, it resembles that a little bit because the stroke is, I find it comforting. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's just nice because it's like you just get in this groove and it's like, and I'm just going swish to the right, swish to the left, swish to the right, next, and then just finding a little place to put it, to put the next one. And you can kind of sort of, you stop thinking or you just really focus on what you're doing, and it's just nice. And they look very cute. But I'm just, like I said, I'm filling in. My hindsight was, maybe I should have filled those in with gray. And I don't think too, as far as shading goes on this, you could do this one or two ways depending on how big you created these. And so I'm going to just try this right now. So depending on too, if you want to, color in or decorate. Well, actually, I'm going to do this bottom one right here. I'm going to color in this, and I think I'm today, or at least this morning, I'm just sticking with black and white and shades of gray. I know on the thing they had, left this one blank and then had some dots, but you could do, so like I'm just going to do some little lines. Oh, that looks like an eyeball. Okay, I'm going to have a bunch of eyeballs apparently. Or light bulbs. I like light bulbs better. And actually, I was thinking, I could, you could alternate however you want to decorate them, and maybe let me add some with just some dots. Or, like I said, you don't have to decorate them at all. It's just, it's just kind of fun because that way you have the option. And going back to our visualism, to create just whatever moves you at the moment, and then you can try it again a different way, at a different time. But I was almost thinking, so number one could just shade the entire area, of course. But if you wanted to, so like so if I would add maybe a little bit of graphite, say just to one side, add it to, they do look about. Now that I have eyeballs stuck in my head, that's what I'm going to always think of if I do it this way. See how that looks on the. Oh, that's kind of neat. And I'm going to try some on some that I'm not decorating, because it's kind of neat to see it both ways. That's the other thing that I really like about, well, part of the reason that I wanted to do these Tangle Times, number one was just because of what we're all stuck going through. But two, just to explore tangles and explore techniques, and just, we're not doing a certain project. The project is yours to create however you want to create it. But this, let's just have some fun and play with these things, and we can build our arsenal of tangles. See, too, you can always go back and add some ink to these. I can color them in, but I didn't want to kind of show how this might look. Ooh, and okay, as I'm turning this way, look at how I have this. It's almost a great line here, not on purpose, but that, because I have some going on this side, on that side. It makes me think of flux a little bit.
Heather, mine looks like mushroom caps.
Do you like mushrooms?
Yes, I do.
You're hungry. Oh, that's funny. Did you do yours more? Well, so we'll look at were they more like squattier then?
Well, it took me a while to kind of get the hang of it. I think I drew a couple of some of them too big, and
Oh,
then I tried squishing them down. So it's kind of some were round, some are oval.
yeah. But I bet it looks really cool. I can't now. I can't wait till the end, and we'll see. But yeah, let's see how that.
Mine still look like barnacles.
Oh, but see now, look at your shading.
Yeah, I took a gray marker and colored in the middle band.
Okay.
And now I'm adding graphite, just like you said, just up one side.
Yeah.
And blending it now with a. So this is. Now I'm making it.
It's a little blurry, but we can kind of see. Oh, peacock feathers. That's good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting to color it in and
Well, see, I also wanted to mention, if you want to make either one of our screens bigger, you can like tap on it or click on it, and whoever's talking, it makes their thing bigger. Just so that way you know. But what a great idea to do these, and then do the peacock feathers. That's brilliant. Yeah, and my hindsight was okay. Next time, maybe even like these little backgrounds, maybe color them or not worry about them at first, and just color them in with gray. Like I said, so one way is to you could do each individual one, or you won't say or because you could do both. Is you could shade the entire section and just leave it at that, and that's fine too. Where you would maybe put some, two things. One way also could be, so if you have some of these lines that have developed, you could just put the graphite along these straight lines. If you like over here, I don't really have as many. I was not thinking at all of how it was going to look at the end of piling them in. But you could just, like I said, put some graphite here, and then this would shade it on both sides, but shade it from that little center point.
I'm working on a gray tile.
Okay.
And so the next thing I'm going to do is down the middle I can't decide, should I use a white charcoal or the white jelly roll to make it really look like it's three-dimensional. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the advantage of using having the colored tile, so that way you can play with that. All right, so let me move. I'm going to share my screen and say, and if you're not quite finished, oh, okay. Well, thanks, Catherine. So glad that you joined us, even if for a little bit. Let me share this and flip over to Finery. And I had trouble with this. Well, we'll see if I still have trouble. And it almost looks like I've drawn it, I want to say like a upside down, and I don't have my Zenthology right here. I don't think, or maybe I do. I do. To look at this, because this one, oh no, I don't. This one is from Zentangle, I do believe, and it reminds me a little bit, the setup of it, like Shattuck, which we have done before. So this one is creating a series of double lines, and kind of coming to an end, because it's as you can see, not necessarily open-ended. So I'm going to draw my first one. Well, actually, no, I'm going to wait to draw. Then, so once you have, so that way you can fill as many spaces as you want. Or this one is kind of neat, where if you just wanted to do two, you could just say, oh, I'm just going to draw 3 lines and do the finer the middle part, because it kind of looks like a leaf. So this leafy part, just in, certain ones. So it's not necessarily filling an entire section. You can just have it be more of a kind of like a line tangle where it's just this much and that's it. So this one is, like I said, these long lines and then S shapes. So this one, to make it easy, doing let's see, an S shape, that would be an extra S shape. And alternating them, so leaving blank ones like you see here, and then coming back and doing it the opposite direction and trying to kind of have them meet up like this, as you can see. And then what is neat is, my favorite thing is the line dot dot. This is different than that. It's more of a fat line and then some dots. It's kind of like a squared off line, the thicker line in the middle. And so the reason I like the line dot dot, the same reason I like it on here, is because even if your shape isn't, if the S shape isn't so great, you can kind of accentuate the curving part with that line. And I'll demonstrate that in a minute here. So I'll stop my screen share, and also let me make sure. I think I re-put that one in the chat also. All right. Mom, Demare says that hers look like barnacles also. All right. And okay, yeah, and I was saying, Diane, early on you said that I sound far away. It's because it's because I'm using my phone, and right now I'm far away from it. Did I get that? Oh, okay, I did get that in the chat also. All right. So again, this one is, I don't know why I have to go back and look at the original to see why I kind of drew it upside down. So it's not going to really matter. So I'm going to start a line here. And it's more of a straight line.
Heather, I think that's the way they do it in the Zentology. They do it in the direction like you did.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll be drawing it upside down here then. And actually, let's see. And then we're essentially aura-ing. If you kind of do a line, and I did mine straight, I'm assuming, and then so aura-ing, and then kind of coming into like this little curve, and then add a curly Q or whatever. And I would say you at least want to draw 3 of them. And for whatever reason, I've drawn that with the curly Q going the other way. I'm going to guess it doesn't necessarily matter. We'll see. And again, I started, well, it also helps because I have mine in the center. I like to start these things in the center, just like drawing a grid. And oops, I'm moving my thing down here. And then work out either direction. And then I guess I would end up having to here. Let's say the little curly Q, that's kind of up to you. I think it just kind of like, was more like this where it curved and met. And for whatever reason, some of them I want to draw up. Well, that's interesting. Like, apparently drawing straight lines takes me extra concentration. Now, I was laughing at myself because some of them I've drawn this way, and then so I think it's the longer ones I'm wanting to pull down, and I just find it kind of funny realizing some of these weird habits that I seem to have. And I would say, they might not necessarily, equal space. Oh, thank you. I was gonna say off camera. All right. Oh, it's Mom's doing hers both directions. Oh, and starting at a point versus just kind of starting like this where it's separate. So it'll be interesting to see how hers turn out.
It'll be very interesting to me too.
All right. I just wanted to have a picture of that. Okay, so And I'm gonna say it's not really gonna matter which direction you start. So I'm gonna turn mine to the side, so that way I can get these S shapes. At least I'm gonna do the way that's like actually drawing an S, which is much more comfortable. But it's not not as curvy. It's a stretched out S. So I'm gonna start here at the bottom. I'm gonna look back and like, okay, do I have this right? Yes, I have this right. It's like, so like the beginning of the S, is on the line. So we're kind of tracing it, coming down around, and then coming back to that line. And then separating them by whatever distance you wish to separate them with. I find it's easier to do it one direction and then doing it the backwards way, because for me it always takes me a little bit to think about it and get it in my hand, and so I'll do it all the comfortable way first. Lazy ass, I like that, Kimberly. It's a lazy ass. And then two, yeah, and see, and of course, we don't have to go all the way up to the top, so we're leaving some. So just go up as far as you want to. And this one, I'm actually going to draw. Oh no, that one's going to fit right up above there. Okay. And again, you're skipping a space and doing the same direction. Because what we'll have then, because we're skipping a space and then we're doing the alternate or the opposite way, mirroring it in the other sections, it'll give that really neat effect. And actually, I'm thinking this needs to have a double line right. Yeah. Okay. It's like, all right, so now for the other direction. And look back. I always have to do that. And so we're kind of going to, and honestly, this is, so I do this where I'm air drawing it just so it's just because it's like my own comfort level. And I don't, there's not any way you can flip this. It's just all you have to just do it backwards. So I would be starting, oh, wait a minute. This is one of those, it's like, it shouldn't take this much thought, but it does. Where am I going to land it, though? Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, you kind of want to land it.
I have done this one a lot. I like it a lot. I have never done more than one section at a time. For the reason, like you're looking at it now, is having to have those all sort of meet up.
Yeah, as I was just thinking, that would have been a better idea to do one section. Well, but I know on the step out they did do it alternating like that. But but it still works out because it's like, okay, I'm looking, and as long as kind of your base, at least my baseline was pretty consistent. But so you just have to watch. So it's like, so I'm starting. Wait, starting here, mirroring that, and then working down, and then as long as you kind of go slow, you can match that up. Like that. And then here.
Well, now you have a dilemma, because you have the middle stroke going over your border.
Right.
But you have that one stopping at the border.
Right. I know. Well, we'll see how it. Oh, let's see, and I can do another one here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, and then I would just line that one up. Well, this is one of those. We'll just see how it all ends up. Yeah, because like here, I've just left that one off. But that's, you know what? And then, yeah, and then here too, yeah, so I just have these empties. Well, that's okay. We'll, like I said, we'll see how it ends up. This one, I kind of pulled that S up a little bit too high. All right, so then, let's see, looking at it. So if you, looking at it this way, and I'm thinking, does it matter? But I think yeah, it does. All right, so where, as you can see here, where these kind of come down onto the stem, we'll call it, that's where we're going to do the fat line dot. So it's kind of like just like, drawing a line, auraing it. I'm kind of, let's see, I kind of curve mine a little bit, and I should have matched it up with this place where my pen hit the paper accidentally. That's okay. And we're doing this with a little bit of a curve. And actually, you could just start off with a line and then just keep adding onto it too. And I'm kind of making my dots, a little bit heavier than just a regular dot. But this way, so what this does is it accentuates this curve going up. So that's why you want to find where the shapes where they're pointing, coming down with that part of the S curve into the stem. And this is one that takes more thought for me. Oh yeah, I'm saying these ones didn't line up, but you know what? We'll see what that end result is. Oh, that's so funny because it's like, even though, so normally, and I know we had a conversation, it was after, maybe it was one of the evening ones about, the perfectionism thing, and, and as I say, being a perfectionist isn't bad. It's just, if it causes you to, if it stifles you, that's when it's, like, oh, okay. So normally I would have said, oh, I don't have these even, and look at this one, is really wonky. But you know what? When you get these, that's the beauty, my idea of beauty of the line dot dot is that it just makes the world of difference, and it fixes so many things. So like this one's a bit wonky. So I just adjusted the fat line dot dot to kind of go with that curve. And so if your curve ended up a little bit weird, then I'll just make the line dot dot a little bit weird. And it just, like I said, it just brings it out. And again, it's coming from where it's, angling down into that stem. And I'm saying that as I'm telling myself, that's where it angles down. That's where you do it, Heather. That's what I know in flux. That's why I like doing that line dot dot part, or that's what I think just got me so liking it, is because I didn't like what I had there already, and by doing it and then sometimes adding a little bit of extra curve, and just, if I didn't like the shape, I kind of put the shape I wanted in the line and then continued it with the two dots, and it just, made it look like I meant to do that. And some of mine are ending up a little bit long because I think you want it to be maybe halfway. Some of mine are verging on 3/4 or a little bit more, and I don't know if I want that or not. Well, and I didn't want the dot that direction either. That one's just going to have freckles. And let's see. Oh, then I have, I can't forget this little guy over here. Going down in the bottom. I'm not going to do any of these, of course, because it said this is going to be, that's the end there. But on the bottom, I can't forget these little guys on the bottom where I started. And even though some of them are just kind of going to be partial, toot toot. But because I decided to, they were kind of disguised because I had the Antidots coming out. Oh, and then I have this little portion over here. Let's see. And then here, and at least have the little, that part, oops, and then over here. Yeah, so if you're doing like me where you're like, I have these little partials, we have to just kind of watch so that way we make sure to have all of the elements. Oh! That looks all right. And then, let's see. Well, let's see what Mom is doing here. I don't remember because I don't have it. Oh, I know how I can find. Let's see. Just thinking on shading. So did you shade the stems and then in a little bit?
I used a gray marker for the stems.
Okay.
And then I'm just shading on one side of the stem and one side of the outer thing. But mine is different because, well, you could do the same thing, just alternate the sides so it looks like it's going up and down.
Yeah, it's like popped off the page.
Yeah.
I have a question. How did you shade the antidots? Because they look like barnacles. It's very cool.
On Mom's there? Yeah.
Yeah, on your mother's.
Oh, yeah.
I shaded, well, I took the one band, I put a light gray marker in the one band, but then I shaded with graphite on one side, and then took white charcoal pencil
down the middle.
A line down the middle, and I blended the graphite, and then I took a jelly roll pen down the very middle.
I love it. It looks so cool.
And it still looks like barnacles, so.
Yeah, but I think it's awesome. Thank you.
And two, you could, one of the things, well, depending on how large you drew them, you could, there's the way, of course, that you can add the sparkle in. So like if I, and I think mine are going to be a mishmash where, like here I would,
yours are almost too small.
Yeah.
And too many to take the time to do that, where I didn't have that many, so it wasn't hard to do that.
Right. Well, it's easier. So like with the pen, which that one's gonna just turn out to be. I'll just color it in. Maybe I'll color it in and I'll use some white jelly roll on it. But you can, leave a little white space, and that can be the shine also. I like to have mine be just a little. Well, I don't like that one at all. Well, no, wait. Now it looks like the Bride of Frankenstein. So. Oh. Now, so I'm thinking I'm just have a pencil instead of a gray marker. I think I'm going to color in. I'll just try it on this one and see how we like it. I'm just going to color in the stem and then take my tortillon and I'm going to smudge it out both directions here. And turn. Wow, I barely put it in there and I can see it kind of bending already. Maybe a little bit more. generally when I, so I just use this, circles, but sometimes I do like this where I'm just, kind of doing a straight line going out. And I might end up adding a little bit more graphic, but let's see what that looks like on the camera. Oh my goodness. See, I like doing it where you just do one and then you see the difference between this and then and this. And it's just like, just neat. Oh, thanks, Brendan. You have a good day as well. Oh my goodness, and we're right up at time. I want to check one thing real quick before and get ready if anybody wants to open up their. Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't a Zentangle one. It wouldn't have been in there. This is by Sandy Bartholomew. That one wouldn't be in our Zenthology. All right, Abby, have a good appointment. We will see you next time. Let me just share my screen really quick. And so here's her. I don't know if I can make that any bigger. Oh, I'm sure there's a way. But you can kind of, so this is kind of an interesting, so you can see in her example here, no, it looks like she didn't do anything with, it looks like it's on either side of where the S shape is going in to the stem, and then some on the outside. So that's kind of neat. And then look at, she add this what we call perfing.
Hers don't meet up, Heather. And wait a minute.
Yeah.
From one section to the next, some do and some don't.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yes they do. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, it's just like with this one, it's like this one is just kind of blank. Like I have some, like this one, yeah. And when she says, yeah, oh, she calls them veins. She's like this. I put curlies on the end of the veins. I put curlies on everything. That's just fun. All right. So, and it's just, there are so many ways that we can, extra ways we can have fun. And I'm going to do this one real quick. So yeah, as I'm doing this here, if you want to open up your screen or open up your webcams, and would love to see what y'all did. And then also, as we always do, take a screenshot. And then 2, I'll put my email address in the chat. And if you want to, if you finish, even if you hadn't finished, it's fun to take the screenshot. But if you want to, send me a picture, because that's always clearer. Oh, that just looks so neat when it's up. Oh, nice. Rosemary did hers like white on. Oh, she did 2. She's amazing. Her and Diane. Oh, look at all these. Oh my gosh. Wow. Let me move my. Oh, neat. Get mine up there in the right.
Wow. Diane, yours, hold it down a little bit. It's blurry on the top and clear on the bottom.
Who's this?
Diane.
Oh,
bring
yeah.
Bring it down. Yeah, hold it down lower. She's not here. No, that's better.
There we go. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. Wow. Okay, so hold them steady real quick. And I'm going to I can't wait to capture this. Oh my gosh. Okay, got it. Beautiful. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. I usually do the Control V type of thing, and I'm like, it's not working, but it is. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I like about what we're doing, is it's like, there's not any prescribed anything that we have to do. It's just, going back to our bijouism, it's about creating and going with whatever you feel like doing. Oh, and who the side was a little bit. Oh, nice. so Pamela, we did, and actually they're in the checkout links are in the chat. But since you did log on, when I send out the blog, it'll have a link. But we did. So this was Finery, and then the bottom one was Antidots. So, and I think they ended up looking kind of neat together. They really did. So cool. And I don't know how I'm going to finish mine off. But they are just, and actually I might just color in, this, since I did it, it kind of looks weird having that not be colored, but I'm not going to spread it, use the tortillon and spread it out. I'm just going to color it so that way it matches.
Well, use the tortillon to smooth it, not to spread it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I'll just, a nice little straight.
So when I did my, this last Monday, did that at OPC, the Zentangle studio, a couple of the ladies, didn't have hardly anything. And I found, and I'm pretty sure these are like makeup Q-tips, but one end is real pointy. I don't know can you see that in the picture? And then one end is rounded. So if somebody doesn't have access to tortillons, but there might be a makeup, like one of those, what are they called? Sally Hansen places or whatever. I mean, these are neater than just the regular Q-tips because they got a pointed tip.
Yeah.
And they work good for blending too. Actually, very nice for blending.
Okay. Good. Yeah, because I know I had some people on that were using it. Oh no, what did somebody used? It was it paper towel rolled up?
Yeah, well, actually, the art teacher that I had that was one of my regular people before we got all closed down was an art teacher for years, and she said she always had her students roll their own tortillons. And I saw a thing on Facebook, and if you Googled how to roll a tortillon, you'll find instructions. And this guy worked in a prison teaching drawing. It wasn't Zentangle as such. And because the prisoners were not allowed to have a lot of different things, he taught them how to take just a scrap piece of paper and roll a tortillon. And so you can roll your own.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't going to say that. Oh, and Pam, you are fine. Yeah, I'm glad that you joined us. Yeah, being new to this, that's awesome. I always try to make sure that I'm using also the, remembering to, for those that are new to Zentangle, to make sure I'm not using the catchphrases. And I'm putting some graphite all around around the base of this because I want it to stick out. So I'm going to smudge it into this.
Heather, have a great day. I have another Zoom meeting in about 20 more minutes.
Oh, okay, Inez. Thanks so much for joining.
All right, I'll post it up on the website, on the Facebook
site.
lovely.
Okay? Yay! Lovely. We'll have a good another Zoom.
I'm leaving because I have to go fix lunch.
Oh.
And I'll see you Saturday, Heather.
That's right. Saturday, not Sunday.
Saturday night. I'm just going to mess up the whole next week, but that's okay.
Yeah, it will. It will. And so, Pamela, so I'm going to we can stop the recording now. And I'll